Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and continue here in lesson 3. We're going to cover a couple more basic navigational things, and then we're going to do some basic edits, which is what we're heading into. So we left off, we had a clip here in the timeline, and we learned about the basic windows, navigation, blah, blah. So now, one thing here while we're in the timeline, as you can see it's the active panel, is we can do some very quick things, like, for example, the playhead, this blue knob that we're moving back and forth. If we want to send it to the very beginning of the timeline, which is down here to the left, okay, and as you know, we move from left to right, and you can see our numbers advancing on the left here on our timecode window, which is present in each one of these panels, these blue numbers, which, by the way, these blue numbers, you can text on them, you can click on them, excuse me, and change values. We'll do that in a second. But that is known as a hot text field. Okay, HOT text field, meaning you can create value, you can type in values, etc., in numbers. So anyway, back to where we were. If I want to send my playhead back to the very beginning of my timeline, I can drag it, but I don't feel like doing that. I just hit the home key on my keyboard, which is, and I'm working on a PC, if I fail to mention that, is going to be in the numeric keypad of the keyboard where you have your numbers. You hit home, and oops, excuse me, let's try that again. And there it goes. It jumps back to the very beginning of the clip. Now, if I hit the end key, it will go to the end of any existing clips in the timeline. So in this case, I just had one clip, so it went to the end of that clip. If I had 3 or 4 clips, it would go all the way to the end of those clips. So those are some quick navigational tools to allow you to move around. Also, to magnify the clip, we have plus and minus. By hitting the plus key, I can basically magnify a specific section of my timeline. And by doing this, I can see that as I do this, my numbers seem to change. Also, the size of my clip, which is actually only measuring, again, this is strictly display. Okay, I'm not extending the clip, I'm not making it longer or shorter, I'm not changing the size of the file. I'm simply allowing myself to visually see a specific section of it closer. So while each one of these notches represents a frame, it's very hard to distinguish. As you can see, as I move, it's hard to move. If I push in, if I hit my plus key and magnify, I can go all the way down to the point where I see my playhead sitting right here, and I can see like a blue line extending past it. And suddenly, in the same area where I had tiny little notches, I've got just one. So each one of these is measuring a frame. This allows me to look at my clip very closely at the level of one frame. It's kind of like cutting a diamond and looking at a diamond very close up and using a very fine tool, as opposed to trying to cut a diamond, far away, or using something like, a chainsaw, which is like crazy. Okay, you might want to disregard that. Okay, so we've got the navigation. Now I'm hitting the minus key, and it sort of demagnifies, so it sort of pulls me out of the clip. Okay, so let me magnify that back in a little bit to get it to a decent size. Okay, so there we have that basic navigation. So let's do some basic edits. So first off, let's clear our timeline out. So I'm simply going to click on this clip, and I'm going to hit delete, and it goes away. It also did a quick auto save there. That's what you saw pop up on the screen. I can always do a quick save myself by doing Control S if on a PC, or Command S if I'm on a Mac. So I'm going to do a Control S, and it does a quick save project. So that is a good emergency backup, or just a really good best practice while you're editing, because if the computer were suddenly to crash, you would have saved everything up until that moment. So let's go and do some basic edits. So we've got car 1 here in our source panel. So we'll just kind of create a very basic sequence with this. Now, as you look at this, and I'm scrubbing back and forth, you see these numbers on the left changing, these numbers not changing. The numbers on the right are also measuring time code, and as we want to learn that the time code is reading units of measurement, time. So it measures from the left to right. This first column is hours. This second column is minutes. This third column here is seconds, and this last column is frames. Now the frames will only go up because we're editing video that is 30 frames per second. It will only go up to 29, and then it turns over. So if I get here to 629, watch what happens. Is this number is advancing. I get to 1029. I go to the next frame and it turns to 11 because there's only 30 of those frames. So that is measuring, this is measuring the position of my playhead. This on the right is measuring the current total duration of my clip based on the in and out points, I-N-O-U-T, in and out points. So right now this raw clip as it stands in my sequence is 1 minute 38 seconds and 0 frames. So we want to extract a piece of this and put it in our timeline. So I'm going to position my playhead to just before this car comes into frame. And I'm doing this just by scrubbing back and forth. Okay, once I find that spot, I can either mark these, hit these icons. This says mark in. I can hit this one for mark out. So I'm going to do mark in, and right there, if I hover my mouse, I can see that I can also hit the letter I as a shortcut. So for now, I'm just going to click on this, and it puts this little blue, it literally puts a little marker like that. I'm going to move the playhead out of the way, and so you can see that that blue marker is in place. That is there until I change it. Okay, so now I'm going to scrub forward and I'm advancing through the clip, and there I can see the car pulling out. Okay, so let's take it till the car sort of leaves the frame there, and that brings me approximately to this time code here. Now let me go back and mention what's happening on the left side. This is now measuring a specific point, so I'm going to mark out. Now watch what happens when I mark out to this number. You can see it's already changed once. The duration is changing as I do this because it is now remeasuring the new in and out point. So if I click out, boom, it puts that marker there. It tells me now that that whole clip right now that I've marked between that in and out point is 13 seconds and 27 frames. Okay, so I am now in the process of doing a 3-point edit. So here's my playhead. If my playhead's floating around over here, I'm going to hit home. I'm going to send it back to the very beginning. If I want to put these on video track 1 and audio track 1, I want to make sure that these two squares are highlighted. What this does, by having video 1 highlighted and audio 1 highlighted, it defines these two tracks as target tracks. So now I've got a point here, a point here, and a point here. These are 3 decisions I've made. They are going to create what's known as a 3-point edit. The simplest way to drop this in the timeline so that the beginning of this clip goes right here at the playhead is to hit your insert button. So I'm going to click that, and sure enough, the clip drops down into the timeline, and as you can see, the playhead immediately repositions itself just at the end of that clip, and it gives you the current duration, which is 1327, which also matches up here. So let's do one more edit. Let's go to car 2, which I think should be the next sequential shot. Yes. So this shot picks up the action from the car being in that parked position and then driving out. Okay, so this is actually would be like an edit where we would make the edit point, but actually we're going to skip that right now. So let's go here, which is now, so we're going to skip that interim shot. We're going to just cut to this point where the car is coming into frame and drives away. So we'll do basically 2 clips just to keep the tutorial a little shorter. Okay, so I'm positioning my playhead. I'm finding where does it just start coming into frame, because this is the next logical shot, the next piece of action that follows the previous shot. So I'm using my little frame to frame buttons here, which are actually on my keyboard. Okay, but I can do them here too. To get it to just before there's the beginning of where the car comes in, I'm going to go back 1 frame and position the playhead there. That comes in at 25 seconds into this clip and 12 frames. The raw clip is 1 minute and 20 seconds. So I'm going to mark in, actually I'm going to hit I on my keyboard. Boom, it puts the in point. Then we'll just kind of let it drive up to like the end of the driveway there. So we'll make that an even 37 seconds over here on our time code on the right. I mark out, boom, it marks it. The playhead now is still in place. It's in the spot where I want it, right at the end of the previous clip. I hit insert and it drops right into the timeline. So now I come back into the timeline and I'm going to play that little piece of that little sequence back, and you'll see the car back up. Okay, in the final version of this, there'll be another shot in between. Actually, it'll be about 2 shots. So there's the car, it turns, it goes out of frame, we change the angle, we cut, and it comes into frame. And then it's driving out. And so that is a basic edit using your source panel, marking in and out points, repositioning your playhead, and doing a 3-point edit. We'll continue with a little bit more about basic editing on the next tutorial.